Good afternoon, students. I again welcome you to English lesson of class 12, textbook Flamingo, chapter number 2, The Lost Spring. Part 1, Sometimes I Find a Rupee in the Garbage. In the last class on 21st of April, we were discussing about Sahib, the rag picker of Simapuri. As I told you, Sahib originally a resident of Bangladesh, Dhaka. He and his family had migrated to Simapuri near New Delhi in search of survival because their lands could not help surviving them. Natural disasters were very difficult. Now when we see the life of Sahib, I told you that in Simapuri, survival means rag picking and nothing else. That means people have to do rag picking and nothing else. Now, why are children involved in rag picking? This is a big question. So, the author says, Anish Jung says that for children, it's a different kind of world. On page number 16, the first paragraph says, I sometimes find a rupee, even a 10 rupee note, Sahib says, his eyes lighting up. This is the answer of Sahib when the author asks him that why does he do rag picking when his parents are working for him? So he says that for him, rag picking is a different dimension. Finding a rupee or sometimes even a 10 rupee note, it fills him with joy. The joy is so immense that it cannot be described in words. He says that when you find something valuable in garbage, you don't stop there. The search, the scrounging, it becomes more intense because there is always hope of finding more. So the author says that for children, garbage picking or rag picking, it has a different meaning than from their parents or from the elders. For children, it's wrapped in wonder, and for elders, it's only a means of survival. Now, this is a very important question that often occurs in the board examination. What's the difference between rag picking for adults and rag picking for children in Simapuri? Please note down this question. Now, the author goes on to tell the story. She says that one winter morning, she observes that Sahib is standing near the fenced gate in the neighborhood club, and he is watching two people dressed in white playing tennis. He likes the game, he tells the author, though he is content to just watch the game because he knows that this game is beyond his reach. He knows that he is poor. He knows that he will never be able to fulfill his dream of playing this game. So, but then he is happy when he shares with the author that sometimes the gateman or the watchman of this club allows him to come inside this club whenever no one is around, and he lets the little boy use the swing. He is content even with this. This is satisfaction. For someone who has lost everything, for someone who has no hope, for someone whose future is bleak, for someone who has never seen anything happy in life, even going inside the club and using the swing is contentment. So this is also a big lesson that we, the people of the society which has got everything, where all the needs are sufficed easily without much efforts, we don't care for the things we have. And we often keep on complaining. But children like Sahib, they find happiness in little things of life. Sahib, when he's standing outside the club gate, he's wearing tennis shoes. And see the comment of the author. She says that these shoes, they do not match the personality. They do not match the kind of dress he is wearing, discolored shirt and shorts. Now these discolored shirt and shorts, they have also been given to the boy by someone, but he's happy. And now when he's wearing this tennis shoes, they have been thrown away by some rich boy. They also have a hole in them, but it doesn't matter to him. A boy who has walked barefoot throughout his life, he is happy to have tennis shoes. Whatever their condition is, whoever he has given it to him, it doesn't matter to him. Now, the story moves forward. One morning, Sahib says, the author says that now he has changed his occupation. He is on his way to the milk booth. In one hand, he has a steel canister. And when he is asked that why this change, what has happened to the rag bags that he always used to carry on his back, so he says that now he works in a tea stall down the road. He says, pointing in the distance, he says that he is paid 800 rupees a month and all his meals. All his meals means, generally it means 2 meals a day. Now when he is asked, does he like the job? His face, the author sees when she puts this question, do you like the job? So he says, he doesn't say anything, but the author observes that the boy's face doesn't show that happiness, that smile, that carefree look is missing from his face. The steel canister that he's carrying to bring milk, it seems to be heavier than the plastic rag bag that he used to carry so lightly on his shoulder. The rag bag used to be his. Now this canister does not belong to him. So now he is not his own master. He is the servant of someone else. This shows that though Sahib has changed his occupation, but he has lost his freedom. But then, even if he has lost his freedom, there is still hope that probably whatever he has done, it will bring some positive change in his life. Still, there is no hope for education. He has lost his childhood, whether it was rag picking, whether it is working as a helper boy on the milk booth or on the tea stall. The question is whether he is able to enjoy his childhood. And what can we, the people of the so-called educated society, the responsible people, the responsible citizens, what is our duty? What is the duty of the policy makers, the people who implement them, the people like us who can bring some change in the society? We have got a good, task in front of us. Let children enjoy their childhood. Let childhood not be wasted at the hands of labor. Let poverty not destroy the childhood of millions of children across the world. So this was Sometimes I Find a Rupee in the Garbage, part 1 of the chapter The Lost Spring. Thank you.